All right, Shabbosai. Good morning. Let us begin. So we are continuing today. In Seif Chaf. We're actually skipping a little bit. We did yesterday Seif Yotes, which highlighted the idea that the Mishmoros, which means the shifts of the night. This refers to the Gemara Maseches Brachos, where the Gemara explained that the nighttime is made up of a number of Mishmoros. It's a discussion. Is the nighttime made up of 3 Mishmoros, 4 Mishmoros? So we'll get into that as well over here. But Lamaisa, what Reb Tzaddik said is that the mishmoros of the evening, the mishmoros that occur in this world, reflect the fundamental shifts and realities which occur in a celestial sphere as well. This notion that there is this interconnectedness between Shamayim va'aretz, that on one hand, as much as we say Shamayim la Hashem, va'aretz nasan livnei Adam, so the celestial sphere, was given to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, but the world was given to man. There is this incredible interconnectedness, of course. And therefore, again, Reb Tzaddik said, one of the ways in which we see this interconnectedness is that as we observe shifts and as we observe changes which are occurring in this world, they're reflective of fundamental shifts or changes which are occurring above as well. So with that, let's pick up with Seif Chaf, because in Seif Chaf, what Reb Tzaddik is going to do is really something amazing. Go through each of the Mishmoros. So we're not going to get through all of this today, of course, but go through each of the Mishmoros, identify what those Mishmoros are here in this world, and highlight for us what the message is. So look what he writes. So, Oschaf, Ika Mishmoros Barakia. So Reb Tzaddik quotes the Gemara that says that ultimately, just as there are Mishmoros, just as there are, now Mishmor literally means a watch, but in this context it means, a period of time. Just like there are distinct periods of time, ultimately again, in the world, there are distinct periods of time in the Rakia. The Dvarim Rikiyim, Ritzoni Lomar La'avodas Hashem. So here what Reb Tzaddik says is as follows. The Lashon of the Gemara is that Yesh Mishmoros Barakia, which literally means there are Mishmoros in the sky. Now, the Pashut Pshat of that statement is that the sky looks different at different times of night, or there are different things that are occurring in the sky at different times of night. What Reb Tzaddik says it really means is Yesh Mishmoros Barakia. The Rakia represents Ruchnias, right? The Rakia represents spirituality, which makes sense because the whole idea in life is to try to propel oneself forward. So Yesh Mishmoros Barakia, says Reb Tzaddik, means that there are different stages or different aspects to our spiritual identity. I will say, one of the things that you find so prominently in Hatzaddik literature, we're going to find it in Reb Tzaddik, we find it throughout the writings of Rabbi Nachman, the teaching. Rabbi Nachman didn't actually write anything, but the teachings of Rabbi Nachman is this concept that a person, it's very hard to be consistent, right? Most of us are not really consistent in anything all of the time. In other words, we don't maintain constant consistency. I may be consistent for a little while. I may be consistent for a period of time, but Lamaisa, constant consistency. So sometimes we think that if we're not consistent, then by definition we're not good. But in fact, that's not the case. That's not the case. The only thing in this world which is consistent is the Ribbon Shalom. Hatzor Tamim Palo. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the rock. The rock represents it's consistent. He's always there. Anything that's not HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not consistent. Right? Think about this. Nature is not consistent. Right? The trees go ahead and are beautiful this time of year, and then come a couple of months around, they're going to be barren. They're going to be barren and bare. So nothing in this world is consistent. There are peaks and valleys, and those peaks and valleys, at least for man, are parts of the human condition. So Reb Tzaddik says something amazing, that we're going to see that the Daled Mishmoros, he says, Yesh Ika Mishmoros Barakia. Even in the spiritual realm, even in the quest of spirituality, there are Mishmoros. There are Mishmoros. There are different times, different stages, different phases. In the quest for spirituality, most of us don't spend all of our time on top of the mountain. Sometimes I'm on top of the mountain, but very often I'm in the valley as well. He goes on. He says, "L'dvarim rikiyim, v'tzoni lamar la'avodas Hashem yisbarach, ki heichi di'ika ba'ara be'inyanam ha'pchusim va'avodas hadama, kach mamish dugmaso umimenu nikach la'avodas Hashem ba'oseis be'inyan zeh." So again, Reb Tzaddik highlights this idea that on one hand, we strive to ascend to the rakia, but on the other hand, we are physical, earthly, material beings. And so life is this constant struggle between the desire to ascend upwards, but yet again the pull of our earthliness or materialness downwards. And ultimately, again, our job is to try to find this balance. I will say, so again, I just want to point out what Hatzaddik is highlighting over here is this notion that Ika Mishmoros Berakia. Just remember that phrase. Even in the Rakia represents Ruchnius, represents spirituality. Even in spirituality, there are ups and downs. There are times that I'm more spiritual. There are times that I'm less spiritual. There are times that I'm connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There are times I'm not as connected. So watch this. Similar davar, mishmar. Let's at least get in the first mishmar today. Similar davar mishmar rishon. So remember again, the Gemara says the first mishmar, the first watch of the night. Now, how do you know? How do you know when it's the first watch of the night? Chamor noer. So a donkey brays. So when you hear the braying of the donkey, that tells you this is the first shift, the first part of the night. So what does this mean? This is incredible. Hachomer dugmas chamor al derech shedarshu ema adom lechamor gamhu noer kechamor. Supposed to take a look over here in the Be'urei HaChasidus. This is really incredible. See, he says it's a play on words. Chamor means donkey, but it's the same letters as chomer, as material. Right? Chomer means material, physicality. So what's the pshat? So we'll say if you turn in Be'urei HaChasidus, page Memvav, the right-hand paragraph, about 2, 4, 6 lines in, right after the bracket. Ve'im afilu chamor shua nivra hayoser pachos v'yoser shafal shebin hanivraim noer kedei lahashmir la'adono. Even a chamor, even a donkey, right? At the end of the day, even a donkey knows how to raise its voice in order to make itself heard to its master. Right? Isn't this an incredible yisod? So when the donkey wants attention, what does the donkey do? It brays. It brays. So again, the donkey represents, as Reb Tzaddik, like the most base animal. Right? It's just a beast of burden. So even when the donkey wants to go ahead and, even when the donkey wants its master to hear it, it prays. He goes on, he says, Velistim ma'zikin barchim makal ne'iroso, azai ala adam lahavinu lalamid nikach. Supposed to say there's something to be learned from the donkey. What's to learn from the donkey? Shegamhu atzmo yiyeh noer kichamor im kol chumri yuso. Lekabel al shichmo es masui hamitzos bichlei hamasa. Supposed to listen to how incredible what Hatzaddik is saying is. What happens in the first mishmar? In the first watch, in the first mishmar? Chamor noer. The donkey brays. So what can you learn from the donkey braying? See, supposed to say when the donkey brays, the donkey does two things. Number one, it tells its master that it needs something, right? It's calling out for something. Whether it's calling out because it needs help, whether it calls out because it's in danger, the donkey needs something, so it calls out to its master. What else does a donkey do? A donkey is a beast of burden. Donkey is, right? You put the load on the donkey, and the donkey ultimately bends its shoulder and carries everything it needs to carry. Says Reb Tzaddik. So what's the message? A twofold message. Number one, even if you're a donkey, now what do I mean by that? Even if I've messed up so badly in life, and I made so many mistakes and so many wrong turns, and I've divested myself of all of my holiness, all I am is a donkey, is a chamor, is chomer. I don't really have any, I don't feel like I have any true spirituality within me. You still have the ability to call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's no such thing as a person who is so far removed from Hashem that you can't speak to Hashem. And I will say sometimes we think that like if I am not towing the line, then I don't have the right or the privilege or the ability to call out to the Ribbon Shalom, and that's not true. The relationship we have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is such that no matter how many bad turns or wrong turns we make in life, we always have the ability to reach out. We always have the ability for that dialogical connection. Much in the same way that even though the donkey is a donkey, it can still bray and ask for the attention of its master. Even if I have become a donkey, not a chamor, but chomer, I've divested myself of my holiness, and really all I am, or all I feel like, is a physical beast of burden. I too can call out to my master. I too can call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lesson number 2 from the donkey, says Reb Tzaddik, is the donkey is a beast of burden. The donkey, right? The donkey carries a load. So too says Reb Tzaddik. Look at the end of the right-hand paragraph in Be'orei Chasidus. He says, "Lekabel al shichmo es masui hamitzvos bichlei hamaisa shebechilek hamaisa bepol yesh lechol echad mibnei Yisrael afilu ha'adam hachumri biyoser sheyachas la'avodas Hashem Yisbarach." The donkey is a beast of burden. Right? So what does the donkey do? The donkey carries whatever's placed on its back. See, Rabbi was saying, so too, we have the ability to shoulder whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu throws our way. We have the ability to carry whatever the Ribono Shel Olam sends towards me. Now, this is true on 2 levels. This is true on a mitzvah level, right? So on a very basic mitzvah level, no matter what happens, right? No matter what responsibilities HaKadosh Baruch Hu throws my way, I could shoulder them. You know, so we'll say sometimes we feel overwhelmed by the spiritual expectations which are placed on us. And they may be overwhelming and they may be dramatic, but yet I know that I have the ability to shoulder them. Next, we'll say, what else does it mean? I think on a circumstance level. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed by our circumstances. We do. You know, we'll say, you ever have a very, very difficult situation, and someone tells you, or Kadosh Baruch Hu never gives someone an isayin, a test that they can't pass. So if you've ever been the recipient of that line, you really just want to smack the person in the face, right? And say, thank you. You know what? You preach somewhere else, right? Go find another pulpit. It's not usually helpful when someone says that. The Maisa, you might not want to hear it, but it's unequivocally true. So Reb Tzaddik says that's what it means to be a donkey. You know, the donkey, whatever you put on it, it deals with it. It deals with it. It may shake a little bit, it may turn a little bit, it may not be, but whatever you place on the donkey, L'maisa, the donkey is able to shoulder. That's just the way that it works. Whether it's in terms of mitzvahs or whether it's in terms of life circumstances, whatever you put on the donkey finds a way to manage. We are much more resilient and much stronger than we ever really give ourselves credit for being. We have the ability to shoulder so much more than we ever thought we were capable of doing. We just have to be willing to go ahead and bear the load and try to move forward. That, says Reb Tzaddik, is the meaning of the first Mishmar, Chamor Noah. All right, we'll have to stop for today. We'll pick up a little bit more with the Chamor on Monday, and then Amir Hashem will continue through the other Mishmaros as well. Shkoyach.